our beloved superheroes, whom we love for their courage, justice, and their stand against the dark forces. But what if they fail to fight the bad and start killing millions of innocent people? What made them turn the tables? Is there any cure to bring them back to their righteous selves? This unique crossover between Marvel and the Evil Dead in 2007's Marvel Zombie vs. the Army of Darkness uniquely combined two of the most popular comic book characters. The main character from the Evil Dead, Ashley J. William, gets into a world full of spandex-clad superheroes, but with him, the zombies follow him to that world and start infecting everyone. So without further delay, let's get into the details and learn more about the zombie superheroes. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. A portal from heaven. In the skyline of New York City, a portal opens out of nowhere, and a man falls into the dumpster. It's none other than Ashley J. Williams, the world traveler and traveler between the worlds. Before he could take a breath and realize where exactly he was, he only remembered entering into a huge bright light and then falling through that portal. He is disturbed by a beggar looking for food in the dumpster. He manages to scare the beggar away from him by throwing stuff at her. Then he starts roaming around on the roads of this unknown city to find his mission. While roaming the city, Ash finds two spandex-clad men fighting on the streets. They are Daredevil and Thunderball. Ash thinks of stopping them from fighting each other, but he can't decide who the good guy is. And suddenly, he notices the beggar he had met in the dumpster is possessed and coming after him. Ash had already thought he had gotten rid of that demon, but it seemed like the demon would never stop following him. The demon screams at Ash that it will never stop following him no matter where he travels. And now, it will destroy this world and the army of dead will rise here too. Hearing this, Ash powers up his iconic chainsaw and starts attacking that demon. Seeing Ash trying to kill a poor beggar afar, Daredevil stops his fight with Thunderball and puts a tight punch on Ash's face. But Thunderball saves Ash from Daredevil by smashing him with a wrecking ball. This helps Thunderball escape from Daredevil. After some time, Ash finds out from the newspaper that he is in Earth 2149, where a bunch of superheroes are the saviors of this world who he thought were some costume clowns. But he thinks of meeting them at their headquarters and informing them about the rise of the dead. He reaches the Avengers headquarters but can't enter through the gates, so he tries to break into the building by firing into the speaker. In a blink of a second, he finds himself under the siege of all the Avengers, including Iron Man, Colonel America, Thor, Captain Marvel, Hawkeye, Scarlet Witch, and Vision. Cap asks him, as usual, how can they help him? Ash tries to explain the rise of the dead and how they can destroy their world, but they call him a nut, and Wanda teleports him away from the city. Jarvis then informs them that something peculiar is happening in the town, and they must return to action. Ash finds himself in Central Park and suddenly realizes how he came to this world through that portal after he died in the Army of Darkness storyline, The Death of Ash. He was on his way to heaven and was denied entry because apparently chainsaws are not allowed into heaven. Then Ash starts screaming the prophecy to everyone around him. While Ash was crying on the streets, the Avengers flew in their plane. Seeing Ash being an oddball and screaming, they think he could be a danger. Colonel America commands Spider-Man to take Ash away from the streets. Spider-Man jumps in and swings away Ash with him. Ash tries to explain to Spider-Man that he's an interworld traveler from another dimension, but unlike the recent Marvel movie, Spider-Man of Earth 2149 is unaware of interdimensional realities. So, he thinks Ash is a psycho and is trying to tell him some weird stories. Ash pushes his limits and tries to explain to him that when he was in heaven, a possessed superpowered entity named the Sentry started attacking everyone around, who was, in fact, sent there by the Watcher in Marvel Zombies Returns. This made the Watcher shunt them both into this reality. Upon hearing this story, Spider-Man asks Ash what the man looks like. Ash points his finger towards a man wrenched in blood and says, it's him, the Sentry. By then, the Sentry had already infected every superhero he could lay his eyes on, even Colonel America. Spider-Man witnesses the chaos happening on the streets and asks Ash if this is what he was talking about. The bloodthirsty superheroes consuming each other's flesh was the last thing Spider-Man wanted to see. Ash tells him that they need to find the book of Necronomicon, which might help them to finish this curse. And suddenly, Captain America jumps over Spider-Man and bites him on his shoulder. Spider-Man loses his grip and Ashley falls on the road in front of Earth's mighty superheroes. Rise of the Undead. After getting bitten by Cap, Spider-Man lands on Hawkeye's shoulder and wants to eat his brain. All the infected superheroes tell him not to do that because it will ruin his appetite. Covered in spiderwebs, Ash tries to escape all the hungry superheroes. They all want to eat him, but with Colonel America's advice, Spider-Man swings him away again to the terrace of a high-rise building to eat him alive. Somehow, Ash gets out of that spiderweb and punches Spider-Man on his jaw. Spider-Man quickly removes his mask and tells him that he's not infected yet and is still a human. Ash finds it surprising that even though Spider-Man got bitten by Cap, he is still acting normal. Spider-Man quickly replies to him, "My powers must be working overtime lately." Every comic fan knows that Spider-Man's regenerative healing power allows him to regenerate the wounds quickly, so he still has some time left to get converted into a zombie. Suddenly, Peter remembers that he somehow needs to save Aunt May and MJ from this deadly virus, so he jumps off the building and goes out to save his family from the zombie attack. Desperate for some help, Ash screams at Spider-Man and reminds him about his pledge to save the city, but Spider-Man gets lost in the skyline of New York City. Disappointed for being left alone on the roof of a building, Ash suddenly hears a strong voice from the shadows, who asks him if he's a friend of Spider-Man. As he turns his head around, we see Punisher standing behind him. Ash tries to tell Punisher about the prophecy and his goal to find the book and save the city, but Punisher agrees to help him if he helps him first on his mission. Both of them come down to the front of a mansion, and Punisher, aka Frank Castle, breaks down the front door with a bomb. Inside, we get to see some of the deadly criminals of the underworld: Kingpin, Hammerhead, and the Owl. Kingpin tries to convince Frank that the world has turned into a battleground, and now it's not about good versus evil, but about humans versus zombies. As we know, Punisher is a vigilante who never shies away from killing villains, and his only goal is to destroy all the underworld criminals. Frank kills them all without any mercy. Seeing this, Ash needs clarification on whether Frank is a good guy. But now that his goal is finished, Frank asks Ash to collect as many guns as possible because they might need them during their fight with the zombies. On their way out, Ash notices Thunderball fighting with the zombie Avengers. Then Frank starts fighting with them too, with his guns. Ash diverts from the fight and meets Dazzler, who's about to be eaten by Bucky. Ash quickly fires a shot directly into Bucky's head, killing him on the spot. Ash tells him everything about the infection and how all the Avengers are now infected. Dazzler is shocked to hear her friends getting zombified, but tries to help Ash by taking them to the one and only sorcerer, who might help them find the book of Necronomicon. But while Dazzler is busy looking for the Sorcerer Supreme, Ash gets killed by zombie Howard the Duck. Leaving Dazzler in shock, the man who came into this world to save everyone is now dead himself. But this is not the end for Ash. Some miracle was about to happen. The Book of Necronomicon. The scene shifts to Ashley G. Williams of This Earth, who works in a convenience store unlike his other counterpart. While having his lunch break from his shift, he gets out to fight with the zombies with his signature shotgun and chainsaw, chops off Zombie Hulk, and kills many other zombies on the streets. Then he saw Dazzler and Ash going into the sanctum of Doctor Strange and followed them inside. In reality, it was this Ash who gets killed by Howard the Duck instead of the original Ash. Seeing this, Dazzler uses her power to keep Howard away from her. Ash chops him off. The Duck reappears from the dark, attacking them, but Wanda kills him with her powers. Wanda tells them that she had to fly away from that place because all her friends had turned into zombies, and she had no other chance of survival. While Wanda and Dazzler try to remove the loss from their hearts, Ash notices something coming from the sky. Storm God Thor also gets infected by the zombies and is turned into Zombie Thor. Dazzler tells Wanda and Ash that she had noticed Doctor Strange on the terrace of the sanctum, and he's the only person who can have the slightest idea how to find the book. But Wanda tells them that all the surviving superheroes, including Strange, have assembled at S.H.I.E.L.D. to start a resistance against the infected. 3 of them enter the sanctum and find Dr. Druid, the master of mystical arts and famous monster hunter, devouring the flesh of Master Wong. He tells them he tried fighting the undead, but got bitten by them. Now he came here to ask for help from Strange, but is nowhere to be found. He didn't want to kill Wong either, but he was losing his self-control and he had to kill Wong. After listening to him, Ash tells him to control his hunger for a few more minutes because he knows how to cure the infection. But when Druid asks him if he really means it, Ash shoots him right through his chin because it's known that once you become a Deadite, there is no cure. Ash, Wanda, and Dazzler find the library and start looking for the Book of Necronomicon. After searching for some time, Ash manages to find a dark art book with crazy eyeballs and sharp teeth. He tries to ask the book a few questions about the Book of Necronomicon, but but the book fails to answer them. Angry, Ashley J. Williams throws the book into the fireplace. Disappointed in all the books, Ash tries to destroy the library with his chainsaw, but Wanda stops him and shows him a demonic red book which tells them the reality of Necronomicon. According to the book of Necronomicon exists from the beginning of time. Countless people have gained power from it, and countless died from the curse it spread among them. If they want to find it, they will have to travel all the way to Latveria. Hearing this, 3 of them plan to reach Latveria as soon as possible. Dazzler tells them that by using the Quinjet, they can reach Latveria just within 1 hour. When they were ready to reach the Quinjet, they found new mutants having a feast on human flesh near it. But suddenly, they find a distraction from a group called Next Wave, consisting of superheroes like Elsa Bloodstone, the Captain, Tabitha Smith, Aaron Stack, and Monica Rambeau, who we famously know from WandaVision and Colonel America, appears and starts firing at the kids. Wanda, Dazzler, and Ash board on the Quinjet and leave for Latveria. After traveling for an hour, they enter the skyline of Latveria, but to their surprise, they witness Doom's land turning into a graveyard. Land of the Doom. Away from the chaos, we see Nick Fury conferring with top military officials to create strategies to save this uproar. The entire world is turned into a battleground where people have turned into zombies. All the superheroes have turned into monsters, killing millions of people. In Latveria, after the trio lands, they meet the mighty monarch of the land, Dr. Doom. He happily welcomes Wanda and Dazzler, but disapproves of Ashley's presence in his castle. But Wanda tells him that Ash is the only person who can save the day from this zombie apocalypse. The trio asks Dr. Doom to allow them to get into his library and find the Necronomicon so that they can stop it. But Doom tells them the book has nothing to do with the apocalypse. It's an extraterrestrial virus and only science can cure it, not sorcery. Ash tries to warn Doom against the curse, but he refuses listening to Ash and orders his robots to capture him instead. After capturing Ash, Doom sends him to the dark cells of his castle. We also get to see that the castle is being protected by a giant man known as Goliath. According to Doom, Goliath helps him to secure his castle by giving entries to only welcome guests. If someone tries to enter Latveria, Goliath will kill them on command. While Ash was being dragged into the underground cells, Doom explains to Wanda how the situation is now shifted. Once the saviors of men are now eating them alive just to fulfill their hunger. He also gives her some examples like Reed Richards / Mr. Fantastic, who got the infection just to gain more power and in return infected others in his group. At midnight, while everyone is asleep, Wanda comes down to the prison to help Ash escape. While they're trying to get out, one of Doom's clones attacks them, but Wanda knocks him off with a single punch. Doom enters the library and asks his bots to evacuate the room because he needs some privacy with his books. He picks up the Necronomicon. The book realizes something is off with Doom today, which makes Doom remove his mask and reveal his face to the book. It was Ash, who came into the library disguised in Doom's costume, as it was the only way he could have again laid his hands on this book. He started asking about the prophecy, but to his surprise, the book repeatedly tells him that it has nothing to do with him. Instead, it's caused by some extraterrestrial reason, not any supernatural reason. The book also tells him how much he hates him, and finally, he reaches into a world where there is no hope to save the world, which he finds rather amusing to say to him on his face. Disappointed by the book, Ash finds Enchantress imprisoned in the basement on his way from the library. She asks Ash to release her from there so they can fight Doom together and save the planet. The final showdown. After releasing her, Ash and Enchantress come close, and being a flirt, Ash makes his cold moves on the Enchantress, but he seems to have no idea who he's messing with. With her mesmerizing beauty and power of enchantment, Enchantress can seduce any man she desires. She can toy them around her to worship her beauty, but contrary to this, her powers can't fool woman. The moment Ash is about to kiss her, Dazzler and Wanda catch them and stop Ash from kissing her. They also explain to him that Enchantress is in fact infected, and because of her powers, Ash cannot see her zombie self. Dazzler tries to fight with Enchantress with the cosmic lights, but she bites off one of her fingers. Seeing this, Ash and Wanda panic and try to help her, but before they can offer her any help, Doom arrives on the spot and kills both Dazzler and Enchantress with his laser power. Now Doom is really pissed off by Ash creating constant problems for him. He tries to kill him, but Wanda saves Ash and prepares to fight with the Doom. But before they could start the fight, a man comes running to Doom and tells him that the army of zombie superheroes has gathered outside the castle to attack them. He also tells him how they killed everyone in Latveria and the nearby countries. The army of the undead gathers around the castle, hungry for human flesh. The mighty superheroes who once fought unitedly against the dark forces are now killing millions to satisfy their hunger. Led by Colonel America, the Avengers, Fantastic Four, X-Men, and many more, they start attacking the castle. Mr. Fantastic attacks Doom and captures him with his long and twisted hands. Ash searches for Wanda to escape that place while everyone's busy with Doom, but finds her getting eaten by Colonel America. He runs to get the Necronomicon and reaches the library. He picks up the book and smashes it down on a table. The book tells Ash to stop begging for the cure because this madness has no cure. Ash smartly tries to convince the book that when the zombies will come for him and eat him in the end, as the book is written in human blood, the zombies might eat him too. Ash runs away with the book. On the way, the book tells him that only Doom can save them because, as we know, he is not only a sorcerer, but also one of the keenest scientific minds on Earth. He invented an interdimensional teleport machine which may help them escape this situation. Ash finds Doom alive and teleports the Latvian refugees into another dimension. Doom tells him that he is infected, but is trying his best to save the humans. Doom tells Ash to save himself and get away from this world. When Ash asks if the zombies can follow him into another world and infect that planet, Doom tells him that the machine is designed to reset itself every 5 seconds, so that's impossible. Ashley Williams enters the machine and escapes from the planet, leaving the Book of Necronomicon behind on that planet. The invading zombies attack Doom just as Ash escapes. The zombies, upon finding the Necronomicon, reveal to it that they would never eat a book, and the zombified Wolverine hands the book over to the Hulk for use as toilet paper. Meanwhile, Ashley J. Williams teleports between different worlds and tries to find a suitable environment for himself. He ends up in a world full of wolves where all superheroes are infected with wolves. From a world full of zombies to another planet full of howling wolves, Ash tries again to save his life. How is he going to save himself from a planet full of spandex-clad wolves? How will he escape this world? Or is he going back to fight with them? We know for sure that Ashley J. Williams will never run away from adventure. Conclusion. This merger between two popular comics was a huge success among fans. Collision of superhero actions and horror is everything a fan can ask for. Ashley Williams fighting with flesh-eating Marvel zombies was a unique pairing for all the comic fans. This series managed to bring every Marvel superhero under one roof and turn them into creepy, bloodthirsty zombies. The distinctive artwork, quirky lines, and gore turned this into an instant hit. This unexpected crossover paid homage to the franchises and redefined storytelling with unforgettable adventures. This is it for today. We will be back with more entertaining content. Let us know what you think of this video in the comments section. If you liked our video, please check out our detailed coverage of other content. Remember to leave a like and subscribe to us if you still need to. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.